Okay, guys, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone is doing good. Glad to have y'all here for another live stream, my friends. We are doing some coverage today. Let's check on Twitch, make sure we're good. Check on YouTube, make sure we're good. What's up, everybody? So first of all, I want to give a big shout out to Christy. Christy, if you're still here, once again, thank you so much. Before the stream started, Christy gave a $20 super chat to the stream here to help us out. So big thank you goes to Christy. What's up, everybody? Let's see who we got here today. We have, first of all, Christy. Thank you once again. We have, let's see here, Crystal. We got Tabletop. We have Roby. We have Jill. We have Dylan. We have Isaac. We have Christopher. Of course, everybody else who is here as well, just not chatting. I hope everyone is doing good. Here, let me check on my Twitch, make sure we're doing good. Also, for the people who are on YouTube, we do have a Twitch as well. I will actually post a link to it real quick for the people who say want to join on our Twitch, and if you guys prefer the, I know, you know, honestly, I know some people prefer to watch it on Twitch more, so let's just go ahead and put that there for you guys. Anyways, folks, what's up, everybody? I am feeling a lot better, thankfully. I'm very thankful for that because I have been like completely out of it lately. Let's see here. Hold up, we're gonna pull up our tab here. Go ahead and bring up my Twitch one more time, and then we'll get started here. Let's see here. What's up, Kala? Hope you're doing good. What's up? Let's see. Javier. Is that how you say it? I don't know how you say your name. I am so sorry, man. I am not good with names. That's something you guys are going to learn real quickly, is that I am just not good with names. But what's up, Ponderosa? Welcome, welcome. What's up, Tom? Let's see here. Susan, what's up? Hope you're doing good. But anyways, folks, so we do have an active severe weather threat going on here today. Here's a current look at the radar. As of now, there's nothing severe happening. I did want to go live a little bit earlier, though, because I kind of want to get some forecasts and some information out there for you guys before everything really starts popping off. Because I figured if we go live as soon as the event kicks off, people are going to be a little confused and not really know right off the bat like what's going on. So I did want to go live first, okay? Oh, it is Javier. Gotcha. I'll see if I can remember that. What's up, Kala? Hope you're doing good. QLCS. Yeah, you can actually see on the radar now. It's really starting to become defined as a little bit of a line here that's starting to develop. Let me go ahead here. First of all, we're going to bring this over here. But let me go ahead and bring up something here for you guys. We're going to look at the SPC first, just so I can kind of show you guys the active risk that we have today. So they did keep it the same for the most part. They did do one big change to the risk here, and that is the fact that they actually removed the hail threat today. So we actually no longer have an active hail threat, thankfully. However, we still do have a risk for other hazards. Once again, flooding, tornadoes, damaging winds and whatnot. So the scale for the people who is new to all this, so there's a scale regarding severe weather potential, and it goes from a level 1 to a level 5. 5 being the worst, 1 being the lowest. So the higher the number, the more potentially severe it could be. But remember, this is still a severe weather risk scale, which, even a level 1 is still a risk for damaging storms. So keep that in mind. So we have a level 2 today as a maximum. So the level 1 is across the dark green. This is where we could start to have a little bit of severe weather activity. So basically as far north as the severe weather could go today is pretty much southwestern Tennessee, according to the Storm Prediction Center here overall. Also for areas like southern Arkansas, a lot of Mississippi's in the risk here for today, eastern Texas, and even actually really most of the state of Louisiana here's in the risk. And then, of course, we roll our way into that level 2 threat, which is the slight risk, or the yellow area, which does include areas like central and northern Louisiana. And we also do have that extending into a little bit of Mississippi here for like southwestern Mississippi. We do actually have the slight risk rolling its way into that region there. So, tornado probability. Here's where we're starting to get into it. So, We actually have a decent risk for tornadoes today. Unfortunately, we do have a 5% chance for tornadoes, so the greatest potential for tornadic activity today is going to be across like central northern Louisiana, as well as that extension into southwestern areas of Mississippi. Now, there will be the possibility for several tornadoes today. We're going to have to keep an eye out there for that, as you know, tornadoes will be a problem potentially. But the overall tornado threat extends out, into Mississippi. Here you can see southwestern Tennessee, southern Arkansas, eastern Texas here, covering most, I believe, if not all of the marginal risks here today. Yeah, it's pretty much for the entire risk area here overall. So that is that. But yeah, remember that the greatest potential for tornadic activity today is going to be for central northern Louisiana and southwestern portions, kind of west central Mississippi as well. But a couple of isolated tornadoes can happen outside of those regions here in the dark green areas. So keep an eye out there for that. Now, in terms of damaging winds, first of all, like I said, they actually removed the hail threat, so that's good. We did have a 5% chance for hail yesterday. They decided that that's no longer necessary, so they did remove the hail threat. So that is no longer a concern for today, thankfully. Now, could storms produce some small hail still? Yeah, it's going to be possible, but the damaging concern for hail is no longer present. So that is really, really good news. Now, regarding the damaging wind potential, we do have a 15% chance out here for damaging wind gusts. Now, we're talking the range being pretty much right around like 60, maybe upwards of 65 mile per hour wind gusts today with the storms. You know, the winds could get a little heavy at times on these storms that that do end up rolling through, which could be a concern. And, winds this strong, 60, 65, might not sound that strong, but they can cause problems. They can bring down power lines, trees, cause those power outages to occur. So, and of course, even cause light objects to become airborne. So keep that in mind. So as these storms roll through, we recommend obviously that you guys do remain indoors, severe or not, just for, safety concerns, because, lightning and stuff like that too is another concern in general. So anyways, yeah, damaging winds, we have a 15% chance. Once again, the greatest threat for today, guys, is going to be in central northern Louisiana, southwestern and west central Mississippi. That is where the main threat is going to be here for today. And yeah, once again, the hail threat is no longer present here for today, thankfully. Now, there is actually a continuation into severe weather for tomorrow as well. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and zoom out real quickly. So we do have a level 1 severe weather threat tomorrow. This is for the, pretty much for the central western panhandle of Florida, a little bit of the far southeastern sides of Louisiana, kind of, just east of New Orleans, just right on the edge of the state here. And also areas of like southern Alabama, including like Mobile area here included, and a little itty bitty sliver of southwestern Georgia. Will be included here in tomorrow's concern. Now, tornado probability, regarding the tornado risk, there is a little potential for an isolated tornado or two tomorrow across those regions there. We do have a 2% chance. A tornado or two is possible. It would likely remain weak and brief, more than likely. Now, in terms of damaging winds, we do have a 5% chance here for damaging wind gusts, kind of the same probability, or not probability, but the same concern as today. The potential for those wind gusts being between like 60, maybe upwards of 65 miles an hour in terms of the peak wind gusts on those storms there. There's a 5% chance out there for that. And then lastly, our hail threat. Like today, we do not have a hail threat tomorrow, so we are looking good, my friends. We're definitely looking good. Let me look at the chat here real quickly. Yeah, tabletop, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. Let me see here. JT says, thank you so much for your show and keeping us updated so we can be as safe as possible wherever we are located. No problem. You're very, very welcome. And, that's the whole reason we're here, man. It's just to help keep you guys updated and staying weather aware. So you're very, very welcome. No problem. Of course. Let's see here. Ragtie says, hey, Drew, southwestern Pennsylvania joining in, like and shared as always. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, honestly, sharing is very important, and it can help get the word out there and help keep people safe. So good for you on that. Thank you for supporting us. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, you guys are good out there. Y'all are good up in Pennsylvania. Not a whole lot of crazy weather going on out there right now. But anyways, so yeah, that's the SPC threat. I just wanted to go ahead and mention that to you guys. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is because of all of this moisture that's associated with the system, there's actually going to be a pretty decent flooding threat as well for today. Let me go ahead and disable the radar there for a minute. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and bring up today's risk. We do actually have a decent risk for flooding today. So the scale for flooding goes from a level 1 to a level 4. Unlike severe weather, how the scale goes from 1 to 5, the flooding scale goes from 1 to 4. The higher the number, the more potentially severe it could be. So the green is the level 1. So the areas out here in the green, obviously we have a little bit of a sliver towards like the Midwest. We have a pretty big area here of the green throughout the Ohio Valley, cutting through like the Tennessee Valley into the southern U.S. So that is a risk area here for the potential of some isolated flooding. So if you guys are in a flood-prone area here in the green areas, of course the yellow as well, make sure that you guys are watching out for the flooding potential, as there could be some flooding. So once again, if you guys are in an area that is prone for flooding, make sure that you prepare accordingly. Now, we do actually have a level 2 threat as well here across the yellow. Now, this is the greatest concern for flooding, is these areas in yellow, which includes a little sliver of northeastern Texas, a little bit of southeastern Oklahoma, cutting straight through Arkansas, southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, and a bit of kind of central western Kentucky. Western areas here of Tennessee is included in the level 2 flooding threat here for today. So these are the areas that has the greatest potential. I believe it's equivalent to a 15% chance for flooding, while the green is a 5% chance. So once again, we do have a flooding threat as well, on top of that potential for tornadoes in some of those areas here more to the south, and the damaging wind threat. So, damaging winds, tornadoes, flooding is all going to be a potential concern for today. Okay, so just make sure that you guys are looking out there for that. Now, here's something I want to look at real quickly. Day 2, tomorrow's risk. They actually added look at that. They actually added another little level 2 tomorrow for West Virginia. Some of that lingering precipitation will be over the area here, which could allow for some flooding to occur up in those upper elevations of West Virginia for tomorrow. So if you know anybody who lives out there, give them a heads up, let them know that there could be some flooding for tomorrow for those regions. And of course, day 3, which I believe, let's see here. So today is Thursday, so that would be on Saturday. Day 3 would be Saturday. So Saturday, we do not have a risk out here. However, Saturday is introducing a flooding risk for, believe it or not, California, out there by like the Sacramento area, San Jose, San Francisco. You guys are going to be in the level 2 threat, actually. So, you know what? We're actually going to be getting a lot of flooding out in California. That's another problem that's starting to arise, you guys, is that California is, for kind of the central area here of California, we're starting to get a bit of a flooding concern. I've actually been watching that the last couple days. So let's go ahead and hop you guys over here to the models. Honestly, we should look at the models. Let's take a look and see what is going on here regarding the timing and everything like that. So let's go ahead and hop you guys over here. So this is the GFS. Let's hop to let's hop to the HRRR here. Let's get the HRRR rolling here for you guys. So, you can just see all of that moisture, all of that precipitation that's just going to be rolling its way through the region here. That tail you can see, that is the line of storms and all that is going to be kind of rolling through the region here. And, honestly, we could have some storms as high up north as, some areas actually out there towards the Ohio Valley. Don't be surprised if there is some rumbles of thunder in some of those areas here. It is certainly going to be a possibility. There is going to be a lot of moisture associated with this system here. You can see, currently, if you look right below my webcam, you can see that's the current radar. There's already a lot of rain out there throughout portions here of the Midwest and working its way into the Ohio Valley and the Tennessee Valley area. So there is already a lot of precipitation with this system here, which the current time is 2 p.m., so we're kind of roughly in this time time frame right in here. So then we work our way further down in time as we kind of approach later this evening. A lot of that precipitation starts rolling its way into the Ohio Valley and starting to kick up that flooding concern we were just talking about for some of you folks out there as the storms continue to roll through on that line. And we do have ourselves an area of low pressure that is located over the Midwest currently, like over here towards Missouri, and currently it's expected to be right around Arkansas is where that central low is located, but it will be moving its way up into Missouri here before kind of rolling out. Now, according to HRRR here, there might even be a little bit of a transition into winter weather with this system, with all of this precipitation that rolls through. As we approach tomorrow evening for the 31st, as we approach our way into the evening here for tomorrow, there is a possibility that this could start to transition into a bit of snowfall for you folks out here towards like New York State, kind of for the areas of interior New England, such as New York State, possibly areas like Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and maybe even a little bit of Maine could get a little bit of snowfall out of it before the system does roll out by the 1st of February. Let's see here. How am I feeling? I am feeling a lot better, thankfully. Yeah, I'm about 99% of the way better now. Thank goodness. Yeah, that was rough to go through. For the people who don't know, I've been dealing with the stomach bug the last couple of days here. It's just been terrible. It's been terrible, man. But I am doing a lot better. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. So, all right, y'all, we're going to hop to the current radar here again. Let's take a look and see what's going on. Like I said, I wanted to go live a little early before the event really kicked off because I just wanted to get you guys, obviously aware of what's going on and kind of let you guys, have a little bit of a backstory of what's going to be happening potentially today. So I really just wanted to go live here for you guys on that. So let's go and hop our way back over here to the radar. This is the current view of the radar out here towards like Louisiana. Currently, we do have, a bit of showers, a bit of storms rolling through as of the moment here. Here, let's go ahead and turn on our warnings and stuff. As of the moment, currently, we do not have any active severe thunderstorm warnings or any tornado warnings as of right now. So, knock on wood, hopefully we'll stay like that. But as you can see below me, apparently we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect. So, let's go ahead and pull that up. We're going to take a look at that watch. We're going to go ahead and see what we got going on here. So, let's go ahead and bring up our severe. Apparently, it should already be on. Let's see here. I might need to pull it up on SPC real quickly. Yeah, we'll just do it that way. That might be the better way to do it. You know what? We do not have a watch in effect. Why does... Oh. That is really interesting. Okay, I'm going to need to contact him. There's a guy I work with who... There we go. Yeah, I'm asking him because I don't know why. He runs this and he has this little service going on, and for some reason it's showing a severe thunderstorm watch. I don't see one. SPC does not have one, so ignore that for now. But currently, from the SPC, there is no active severe thunderstorm watch or anything like that. No mesoscale discussions either. However, the storms are starting to roll their way into the watch area here, the risk area here, not the watch area. Because you can see here that line, if we hop over to Shreveport radar, you can actually see that line is starting to take shape here. You can kind of see that long noodle, that danger noodle. There ain't nothing dangerous about it right now, so don't worry. But that long noodle of storms that's starting to develop here, which is working towards Shreveport, is in that risk area. You can see the overlaid SPC outlook here. You can see that we are in the marginal where this line is. So, in theory, yeah, we could start to get a little bit of severe weather starting to pop out here. Here pretty soon, which hopefully not, but it is possible. Here, let me bring this over to you guys. I do want to look at the mesoanalysis. So for people who don't know what mesoanalysis is, it's basically like current conditions. How did I manage to do that? I managed to have this window just perfect enough to where I cannot grab it. It's like, it's between two monitors here. Oh, here we go. That was interesting. Anyways, so here's all our instability. You can start to see it vecting its way up here into like eastern Texas and out here towards like Louisiana. So yeah, the problem with this event here, the main limiting factor is going to be the amount of instability or the amount of fuel in the atmosphere for thunderstorms. So that is kind of kind of the main limitation of today's severe weather event. Now, we do have ourselves, let's take a look at our lower level winds. Wow. Wow, dude. Do we have a lower level jet and a half, though? I tell you that. Look at this. So there's actually really, really strong winds here on our lower level atmosphere. So this is roughly about 4,000 or 5,000 feet up in the air or so. But the winds are screaming, dude. About 55 to 60 knots in terms of the winds at the lower atmosphere. So these are actually very important for tornadoes, getting those storms organized and whatnot. Yeah. So those lower level winds are ripping. That's 55, 60 knot lower level jet. That's pretty strong. Now, in terms of our mid-level wind shear, you can kind of see we do have this big trough here. Our mid-level low is located over here towards like the panhandle of Oklahoma. You can see the jet stream just ramping off of that. Yeah, and so you can actually see here something I do want to point out here. Let me go ahead and bring up my pen here for you guys so I can kind of draw things and kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to need to restart the pen here. Yeah, this pen gives me some problems sometimes, Yeah, let me go ahead and bring this back up for you guys. But what I am noticing here, between looking at the winds at the different elevations. So first of all, this is our mid-level atmosphere. So this is like middle atmosphere. You can actually see that those winds here, we're going to highlight them in red. Those winds are moving, in this direction. So the winds are coming from the southwest, moving to the northeast here. And they're about 50, 60 knots or so across the area, which is, decent. It is enough to get storm organization and stuff like that to go on. And then, of course, our lower level atmosphere, something you guys kind of notice here. I'm going to write these in yellow. You can kind of see that those winds are more to the north, coming more from the southwest to more of the northeast. So you guys notice how the wind direction is a little bit different from our lower atmosphere to our middle atmosphere. So that right there can create that spin and that helicity that's pretty much needed for potential tornadic activity and whatnot. So given the wind shear and the angle of attack and the change in wind directions can allow for a rotating atmosphere and rotating potential. So that is something that we are looking out there for. But yeah, the winds are actually really strong on this event here. We're talking 55, 60 knots or so in terms of our lower level jet and our mid-level jet. That's actually pretty strong overall. Any snowstorms heading for Mount Washington, New Hampshire area? So there was that one storm I was just talking about a minute ago. We are going to see, so out of this system here, we are going to see some of the precipitation and snowfall actually work its way up here into New England. Let me bring up the HRRR here real quickly. We're going to go ahead and pull up the HRRR model. Let's see. Okay, we have data on. Good. Let's bring up our precipitation type here. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to roll back to 12 Zulu. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, as we work our way down in time, you can see all this precipitation does roll through the region here, work its way up here towards the Mid-Atlantic and the areas of New England here. So this is for 11 a.m. For tomorrow. So this is late tomorrow morning. As we approach right around the early afternoon, you can kind of start to see how we're going to possibly transition some of that rainfall into some of that rainfall into snowfall and whatnot. So that is going to be a possibility. That's what the HRRR suggests here as well. Let me bring up the here. Let's bring up the NAM. Kind of want to see what the NAM 3K has to kind of suggest. It's obviously good to compare to different models here. Take different models into consideration. It's never good to just be biased to one model. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a relatively same idea. NAM 3K does suggest that actually a little bit later, believe it or not, that transition into snow. Yeah, so this model actually kind of suggests that starting to happen right around like 7 p.m., while the HRRR kind of suggested right around like 2 p.m. So there's quite a bit of a gap there in general. But yeah, no, we will start to see some snow with this system. However, for up here towards like New Hampshire and whatnot, there's only going to be a limited amount for some of those regions there. The snow, according to this model, the NAM only works its way up about like halfway through up into the state, while the HRRR, the 12 Zulu that we were just looking at here, kind of suggests the potential of that snowfall a little bit higher, actually. Yeah, a little bit higher. So, there's a little bit of uncertainty there. We'll have to look out for it. Now, it's not going to be like a blizzard or anything like that. It's just going to be like a little clipper system just to drive a little bit of snowfall for some of those regions there overall. But anyways, yeah, so that's that. So hopping back to current conditions, one thing I do want to point out, guys, is that we do have a lot of flash flood warnings already in effect here. So out here in Arkansas, we do have a lot of flash flood warnings in effect here, which does include areas like Hot Springs here in that flash flooding threat here. We do got some flash flood warnings in effect, actually working their way all the way down to, all the way up to northeastern Texas here, just north of Mount Pleasant. Actually, we are seeing flash flood warning working its way into the region there. So, yeah, so we do already have some flooding concerns. Let's go ahead and pull this up real quickly, see what they say. Between 2 and 4 inches of rain have already fallen, and additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible in the warned area here. Let's see here. Polly says, what about Conway, Arkansas? Yeah, so you guys are actually here. Let's go ahead and bring up our flooding thread again here for today. Yeah, like we mentioned, today is actually a pretty active day for flooding and whatnot. Let's see, Conway, Arkansas. Yeah, now you guys are actually in that flash flood warning for one. Also, you're in that level 2 flash flooding risk. So yeah, you're in the area here of flooding. So if you're in an area that's prone to flooding, if you're one of those lower elevation areas, in those low-lying spots, definitely watch out for it. Because according to this, between 1.5 and 3 inches of rain has already fallen, with an additional amount of 1 to 2 inches is possible in the area there. So there's more coming, and apparently there's already been a lot that's fallen. Let's go ahead and bring up our, let's see here, storm total precipitation. This is radar based. This is just, estimated by radar. So this is not going to be perfect, but it's an estimated amount of rainfall that's fallen. It looks like about 2 inches or so of rain that's roughly fallen out there. There is actually some heavier spots west of that region, out there towards like Russellville, Arkansas, where we've kind of seen the streak here, and maybe more towards like 3-4 inches or so out there. So yeah, I mean there's definitely been quite a bit of rainfall that's fallen out across some of those regions there. So, and like we mentioned, it's just going to continue to fall as well. It's not quite done there. Anyways, let's see here. So yeah, hopping over here towards like Louisiana and stuff, like we mentioned here. Not really a lot of precip has fallen, although we're starting to get some storms and stuff like that starting to develop out here. As of the current moment, like we mentioned, we actually went live a little bit earlier today because I wanted to kind of give you guys an update on what's going on here and kind of let you guys know what we're in for with everything. But right now, things are calm for the most part. I'm definitely thankful for that. The only thing that's really kicking off at the moment is this flooding problem right now in Arkansas. So that's really the main issue that's happening now. However, I will say the severe weather can start at any time at this point, because these storms are already starting to fire in the risk area. So stuff can start picking off here pretty soon. So just want to go ahead and let you guys know on that. All right, we're going to disable that right there. Let's see here. What's up, Ava? Hope you're doing good. Saying thank you for your coverage. You're very welcome. No problem. Glad to be here for you guys, of course. Yeah, we're gonna be live here for a little bit today, of course, because I want to make sure that you guys are updated with everything and stuff like that. And I definitely figured today would be a day to go live for sure because because of everything that's going on here. And like we mentioned, tomorrow there is an extension for severe weather as well. So this is actually where tomorrow's risk area is, which is, out here towards like the panhandle of Florida. There's a potential out there for a couple of strong to severe storms as well. There's actually a tornado risk tomorrow too for those regions there. 2% chance overall, and then of course our 5% chance for damaging wind. So tomorrow, I don't think we're going to need coverage tomorrow because of it's a lower end threat. But yeah, since today we do have that slight risk area here, that I definitely wanted to go live for you guys for that for sure. Let's see here. David says, is Liberty, Mississippi going to get tornadoes and heavy winds? Let's see here. Let me go ahead and pull up Liberty, Mississippi for you. Also, hope you're doing good, David. Let's see. Okay, so you are actually, you're right on the edge of that level 2 threat, but you're in the level 1 SPC outlook right now. So you're in the level 1 threat. So there is a chance, it's very unlikely, but there is the possibility for a couple of tornadoes in the general area. So just keep a close eye on the storms as they roll through, as some of them could be tornadic, yes. In terms of damaging winds as well, there is the possibility for some damaging wind gusts, upwards of around 60 miles an hour or so. Could be possible for today, so there could be some gusty winds as long as you stay indoors away from windows as these storms roll through. If they contain 60-mile-an-hour winds, you should be good. Even most trailers are upholding or able to uphold winds of that magnitude. There is different wind classes. There's level 1, 2, and 3. I believe you guys might be in a level 2. I could be wrong on that. So for my people who live in trailers out there, you guys should be you should be fine. Trailers can uphold 60-mile-an-hour winds. But yeah, just remain indoors in the central interior portion, and just be away from windows and stuff like that. And of course, away from trees as well, because there could be some down trees, down power lines, and power outages as a result. So keep an eye out there for that. But to answer your question, yeah, there is a possibility for a couple isolated tornadoes in the general area, as well as the potential for some damaging wind gusts, once again, upwards of about 60 miles an hour or so. So it is possible. What's up, Ace? Hope you're doing good. Welcome. But anyways, so yeah, that's what we got going on there. And like I mentioned, today they actually removed the hail threat, which is good. Earlier when we were not covering it, or when we were given an update yesterday on the event for today, they did have a risk for hail. We did have that 5% chance for hail ranging between 1 and 2 inches in diameter. They removed that. So they no longer found that was needed, which is good. So we no longer have a hail threat for today. However, there is still going to be the possibility where we could get some hail, so don't be surprised if some storms contain hail. It's just that we're not really expecting the hail to be anything significant or anything severe, that matter. So That is great news. That is definitely great news. Yeah, but the thing we got to really look out for today is, tornadoes, of course, and, that damaging wind threat. And also flooding, like we were mentioning here. Yeah, the flooding's already starting. We're already starting to deal with that flooding mess out here. You can see that, we have these polygons here. These are the flash flood warnings that are already in effect here. Some of those regions have already seen about like 2 to 4 inches out there. So they've already been dealing with quite a bit of rainfall, and there is more to come. There is more to come. There's a lot of moisture being kicked up from the Gulf here, which is just supplying this system here with moisture and a lot of heat as well. I mean, temperatures really are not bad out there right now. If you guys look, these temps are in the kind of the lower mid 70s. Which is actually really nice. So enjoy the temps while you guys can. It's going to be relatively short-lived, though, because on the back side of these cold fronts is where the cold air comes down from up north. So it is going to overtake the warm air as the system kind of, as you roll in the back side of the system, the cold air is going to overtake. So enjoy today, because it's going to be a little bit nice for a lot of you folks, minus potential for severe weather, of course. But yeah. Now, actually, if you look at the temps out here towards like eastern Louisiana, it's actually pretty warm. This is actually mid upper 70s, and even some areas near 80 degrees out here towards Louisiana. So it's actually really nice out here. Same thing kind of applies for southern Mississippi as well. It's definitely pretty warm out there. So y'all definitely enjoy that. For sure. Let's see here. What's up, Samuel? Welcome. Let's see here. Is your name Corin? Let me know if I'm saying your name right, wrong. Sorry. I'm not good with names. But Corin, I think, says, is he crazy talking about severe weather when they just had snow? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they just got covered in snow. New Orleans out there was some regions that I think locally got up to about a foot or so of snow just like 2 weeks ago, and now we already have severe weather coming through, and the temperatures are like in the 80s, which is just crazy. I mean, yeah, going from snow on the ground to like 80s in within the last 2 weeks, it's just honestly kind of crazy. They had winter 2 weeks ago, and then now they have of course, springtime coming through. It's a false spring, by the way, because we still have February to go through. Let's see here. What's up, Genny? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Court? Hope you're doing good as well. But yeah, so let's hop over here back to Shreveport radar. Let's take a look and see what's going on. So we do have that line that is starting to come together here. You guys can see it's a long noodle of storms coming through here right now. So right now, it is currently not classified as severe at the moment. However, that could change at any time at this point, because we are in the risk area here. The line of storms is in the risk area here currently. If we overlay that, you can see that the line of storms here is right in here. And you can see overhead. Overhead, we do have that marginal risk here in effect. So severe weather could start to pop off at any time. I did decide, like I mentioned, to go live a little bit earlier today, just in order to give you guys an update, kind of let you all know what we're in store for today before stuff really started popping off. So I just wanted to let you guys know on that there overall. But anyways. And then, of course, like we mentioned here, within the next couple of hours, we're going to start to roll our way into that level 2 threats, which is the area out here towards, as these storms kind of roll in more into, like, Louisiana, that's when we're going to really start to pull our way into the main threat here for today. But, hey, I mean, severe weather, like we mentioned, can start to kick off at any time. I do want to do a quick little velocity check. Let's do a quick velocity check on that line, make sure nothing's rotating like it shouldn't. Honestly, it looks pretty good. As of right now, everything looks like we're running fine and dandy. Does not seem like we're really seeing anything super crazy going on at the moment. Just going to scan radar here, check for any areas of rotation. As of now, I think we're pretty good. Also, after this, we're going to pull up satellite view, too. I kind of want to see what it looks like from up above. Yeah, honestly, velocity check comes through clean. Looks like we're pretty good. I don't see any rotation or anything like that at the moment. Let's bring up the... Let's see here. We'll go ahead and bring up satellite view real quickly. See what's going on out here. We'll go ahead and bring up our sub-regional view of the south here. I'm going to bring it over here to you guys. So this is current sat view, current satellite. Turn on the true color image. You know what? You can really see that moisture advection. I know I probably confused a lot of people there. So basically what I what I mean by that is you can see all these clouds down here, all these lower level clouds, how they're moving up to the north. So that's actually a lot of moisture that's coming from the Gulf here. And working its way up into the country. So that's, you know, supplying the warmth and the moisture that's needed for some of these storms to fire off. So all of that moisture is coming up from the Gulf here. And you can actually see overhead, over towards like eastern Texas and like Louisiana, see how these clouds are starting to become kind of bumpy. So that's actually those storms that are starting to develop here. You know, whenever the storms become bumpy like that, they become tall, and they kind of tower overhead the lower level clouds here. That's why they're becoming more textured, from what it looks like, is because, you know, of course, we do have ourselves, you know, that popping off here. But anyways... see, Grifter says waiting in Pacific Northwest for storm arrival Saturday to Sunday. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I do know I do know a lot of you folks out there are going to be getting a lot of moisture out there by California too. Y'all are actually set to get a bit of a system out there. Yeah, it's just going to be there's a lot of moisture heading to the west. A lot of moisture heading to the west. Here, let's go ahead and bring y'all over here. So this is the GFS. Let's pop to, let's see, there we go, Western View. That's better. So yeah, you can see here, this is for the morning of tomorrow. You can see that system starts to impact the west here, driving some upper level snow for the lower levels, you know, just rainfall and whatnot. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of precipitation, you know, overhead next several days, working our way into the afternoon of February here. Or now the afternoon of February here, you guys can see, you know, that moisture continues really. A lot of upper level snowfall, a lot of lower level rainfall, and then, of course, you know, some more lingering precipitation rolling through. Yeah, it looks like the end of this month going into early next month is going to be quite a above average precipitation type pattern for the west here. Now, in terms of the rest of the country... let's see here. If we bring up, here we go, bring up the main U.S. view. So we have this system coming through. We have that low that's pivoting over the Midwest here, and all that precipitation and moisture working its way through, like the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic and whatnot. So, of course, you know, that's causing a bit of flooding and whatnot, but that's this system. We do have another little clipper system here working its way through, actually for the first here, up in the upper Midwest, you know, towards like the northern plains and whatnot. A little bit of snowfall for you or for the areas out there, for the Great Lakes, driving a bit of snowfall, a little bit of New England there as well. Then high pressure builds in and kind of dominates the area here, keeping things relatively calm, you know, nothing too crazy. Ooh, this is February 5th going into February 6th. We might have another system trying to brew here. Hey, that's pretty consistent, man. Look at that. That's actually been persistent on the models. So I'm actually cycling through different model runs for the people who don't know. So this is the latest model run. Okay, we're gonna have our eyes out here, guys, for right around the 5th of February. It looks like we are getting some signals here for another storm system. Could be rain, could be snow and whatnot. Yeah, there's it seems like the models are still really fluctuating between being rain or a snowmaker. We'll have to see. But yeah, I did want to mention that. Anything further than this is just kind of void, because it becomes unstable. The further you go out in the models and stuff, it becomes a lot more unstable and whatnot. I mean, yeah, look at Euro. Euro actually suggests this here as well. Okay. So definitely am starting to see a bit of consistency popping out here. That's for sure. See, Shane says 1 month ago I was hit by a tornado in Mississippi. I don't need another one. The odds of you getting another one is going to be very low. I mean, you have to be very unlikely or very unlucky to be able to get a tornado back to back. Today's threat, isn't going to be like a tornado outbreak or anything like that. No, but there will be the potential for a number of tornadoes to occur today. So, yeah, keep an eye out there for that. But yeah, the odds of you getting another tornado is very low, very, very low. So try not to stress yourself over it. Just remain weather aware, keep alert. Keep on watching the weather, and if a warning gets issued for your area, then take action. But if no warning gets issued, then you're good. You're good. Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated though with the warnings too, as well as they come through. Whenever those tornado warnings and stuff like that, if they come through. Hopefully they don't, but if they do, we'll keep you guys updated with them. More snow for Florida? No. No thanks. I don't see any, I definitely don't see any signals of that really happening again anytime soon. So hopefully that's the only snow that Florida sees this year. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even get any of it, thankfully, but yeah, that's definitely no go, in my opinion. Let's see. What's up, Catloaf? Welcome. Matthew says, do I think a bust today? I hope so. I really do. Although, the storm system here, I mean, while the event is, while the storms are starting to roll into the risk area here, they've been in the risk area here, I still wouldn't call it a bust yet, because there is still a lot of time for things to happen. I mean, given the fact of how strong our winds are in the atmosphere here, I'm going to bring up mesoanalysis again. So this is our lower level jet. Our jet stream in the lower atmosphere is screaming. 50 to 60 knots is actually pretty crazy. So 50 to 60 knots is a little wild. So we do have a really strong lower level jet. So that's in place. The only thing that's really lacking us right now is the instability or the fuel for these storms. So this is where the energy is at right now for storms. But, value-wise, we're in like the 300 joule range, which is just pretty low. Pretty low. Of course there is going to be pockets of higher instability in some localized spots, but that, of course, mesoanalysis or models can't really pick up on. But yeah, that's kind of our main limitation here. And looking over at the current observations and stuff, through MEDAR, looking at those temperatures, temperatures are already in like the 70s, upwards of upper 70s in some spots. And if we overlay the dew points as well, there we go. If we overlay those dew points as well, you can see that the dew point values are in the upper 60s, lower 70s. Actually, there is a couple of 70 markers down there too. That is a strong amount of moisture. There's a lot of moisture associated with this system here. Once again, really the main limitation on this storm system is going to be the instability, which is very good, of course. But that is the main limitation of the storm system here, is going to be, of course, the energy in the atmosphere available. And the reason that we don't have as much energy in the atmosphere is because of weaker lapse rates. And for the people who don't know what a lapse rate is, it's basically just the change in temperature over elevation. So basically how quickly the temperature drops off as you go up in the atmosphere, the higher lapse rates and the more instability in theory you would have. But that's pretty weak as of right now, thankfully. And yeah, that is going to severely limit this event, I do think. So, yeah. Let's see here. Matthew says we should get a mesoscale soon for a tornado watch. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. That's up to SPC, of course. Also, ignore that severe thunderstorm watch down there in the ticker down below, because I don't know what's going on. The dude I have this service through, he's not responding for one, but two, yeah, I don't know why it shows that. It shouldn't be showing that. There's a lot of bugs with it. Hopefully we'll get that fixed out soon. So yeah, ignore that. There is no active watch right now. The only thing we got really going on at the moment is all these flash flood warnings that's kicking off. Yeah, there's actually a lot of rain that's fallen throughout the areas of Arkansas and whatnot. There's a lot of rain. Some areas have already seen like up to 4 inches of rainfall. The watch is for Hawaii. Oh, is it? I don't even know why. Oh, you're right. You know what, Matthew? I appreciate you, dude. Thank you for that. That's where it's at. See, I wasn't even thinking about Hawaii right now. I ain't gonna lie. I don't cover Hawaii. I honestly didn't even know it reaches out to Hawaii, which is pretty crazy. Matthew, hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I literally did not even know. When could the storm start? So, let's see here. Storms are actually starting now. If we take a look at the radar here, you can actually see the storms are. Rolling through. Currently, we do have this long line of this big noodle of storms coming through here. It's actually heading up towards the Shreveport area here. I think I might have cameras for you guys. Here, let me pull up. Let me bring up the LA dot. No, not Los Angeles. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, we got some cams for you guys. We'll pull those up. Let's take a look at the cameras. Let's see what we got going on out here right now. Let's see if we can find a good one for you guys to look at here. We'll go ahead and bring this over here. Just take a peek and see what's going on out there towards Shreveport, because you can see, yeah, the line is approaching. Let's see. Hawaii has a tornado, possible severe thunderstorm warning a couple hours ago. Wow. Yeah, like I mentioned, I wasn't paying attention for Hawaii. See, I mostly cover the main 48 states, excluding Alaska and Hawaii. I have covered Hawaii before. I've never covered Alaska, but I have covered Hawaii before for the tropical systems. I think last year that rolled through, I did cover Hawaii. Yes, but yeah, no. Honestly, I've never covered them for severe weather. Anyways, but yeah, let's go ahead and bring up those cameras again here. Yeah, I want to see what we got going on out here. See if we have any good cams pointing that way. So we're gonna need to look west. We're going to need to look to the west here. Let's see. Would you know that traffic cameras mostly point at the roads and not the sky? Why is that? Would you ever know? Let's see. Here's a camera. The clouds look a little cloudy out there. It's a little bit cloudy. Also, I don't know which way that is pointing either. Let's see. Here, let's look up a little bit more to the north here. This is traveling westbound on was it I-220? Yeah, can't really see much of the road here. As the storms do roll over Shreveport, I will hop back to these cameras. That way we can actually, look at the storm that's ongoing, because it doesn't have to be pointing up at the sky, or in that direction, I should say, to really see that. But we'll definitely we'll go back to that here in a little bit. See here, James, thank you, appreciate that. James is saying, remember, chat, we have to share this information to as many people as possible. Social media, hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Yeah, like I mentioned, if you guys could help share this, if you haven't already, consider subscribing, leaving a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. That way we can help spread this to more people and help keep more people weather aware, of course. That's what we're here for, guys. We're here to help keep you guys updated. T-Dust, thank you as well. Appreciate it. Let's see here. All right. Silent, I got you, man. We will do some zip codes. Since there's no active warnings right now, as soon as there's active warnings, we are going to cut zip codes. But from any time on, as we don't have any warnings, I will be more than happy to help you guys with those. It's just whenever we get severe weather that starts popping off here, we got to just really focus on the active warnings. But yeah, since there is, nothing happening, no active severe thunderstorm warnings or anything like that right now, I will gladly. So, with that being said, Silent, you are in a level 2 threat for today, my friend. You do have a 5% chance for tornadoes, which, once again, the odds of you getting a tornado specifically is very unlikely, even with a 5%. But with that being said, there is a possibility for tornadoes in the general area today. So make sure that you are weather aware and you're keeping an eye on the on the feed here, because we'll keep you updated. Now, in terms of damaging winds, we do have a 15% chance as well. We're talking potential damaging wind gusts ranging between like 60 to maybe 65 miles an hour or so. That is possible. Okay, so there could be some strong winds. If you do get a warning, make sure you take action accordingly. Obviously, if you do get a tornado warning, not saying you will, make sure that you take action. Go to the central interior portion of your home, away from windows. If you have a basement, storm cellar, go there. If not, go to the central interior portion of your home, like I said. Severe thunderstorm warnings, just make sure you're indoors and away from windows. That is all I ask you to do. And, of course, hail. Actually, the good news is that they did remove the hail threat altogether. So, believe it or not, yesterday when we were doing an update for today, they did have a 5% hail threat for the general area. They removed that because they no longer thought that was necessary. So they removed that. Silence says I live in a trailer. Okay, so there is different things that apply. Now, for the severe thunderstorm warnings, given the possibility of 60 to 65 mile per hour wind gusts, you should be good. Trailers are, most trailers, especially newer ones, of course, are, even in wind class 1, are able to withstand that amount of winds. So you're good. However, tornadoes, that is a different thing. If there is a tornado warning, you need to get out. Okay, if you get a tornado warning, you need to get out and find a sturdier structure. Okay, so that's your plan. That's your plan. So if you do have a tornado warning, that's what you do. If you have a severe thunderstorm warning, you should be good. Because once again, even wind class 1, I believe, can sustain winds up to at least 80 miles an hour. I think it's something like that. It's above 60. I definitely know that. So yeah, you should be good with the winds that's potentially on these storms today. Let's see here. All right, see you later, Samuel. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Got a winter storm warning in Hawaii. I've seen that before. I've seen that. Yeah, believe it or not, the upper elevations of Hawaii can frequently get winter weather, because of the elevation and how much cooler it is up there. Yeah, Hawaii's weather is pretty crazy, actually. We have obviously it's in the middle of the tropics, so there's there could be tropical systems. Not super common, but they happen. Tropical systems can roll through Hawaii, so that's one thing. Severe weather is another, and winter weather. So they kind of get all of that action. Also, we got some blizzard warnings up in Alaska here. That's really not surprising. Wow. Look at those temperatures. Are those temps or are those dew points here? Let me make sure I'm on. I think I'm on dew points, actually. Yeah. Oh, it's really cold out there, though. Look at that. Negative 39 degrees out there in Alaska. Yeah, no thanks. No, thank you. What's up, Lakeville? Hope you're doing good. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's go ahead and bring up our day one again here. We're gonna hop back to Shreveport radar. All right, so we got a noodle of storms kicking off now. That line is starting to become defined, as you guys can kind of see here. It's just a thin little noodle. Got a couple of showers behind the noodle as well. Once again, currently no active warnings on that though, which is really good. Let's see, ahead of it, prefrontal wise, we do have a couple of showers. Do got some heavier showers and storms popping off out here towards like Lake Charles area, Louisiana. So stuff is starting to materialize, although it's not severe yet. Once again, I really hope today does not perform at all. That would be nice. But the storms are already in the risk area here, so the severity could really pick up at any moment. Let me bring up the models here. We're gonna bring up HRRR again. Let's see here. I'm gonna bring up the HRRR model. All right, so this is the 18 Zulu, the brand new run of this is the brand new long range run of the HRRR here. So current time is almost 20 Zulu UTC, and that's really whenever that line starts to kind of kick off there. Yeah, so I mean, really at any time this could start to roll through. Seems like a lot of the instability is going to start really coming together over the next little bit. But, yeah, like we mentioned, in this event, guys, the instability is a severe limitation to this event here, which is great news. So when forecasting severe weather, there's really 4 main ingredients that you need. You need a source of lift, which we have, basically to get that warm, moisture-filled air off the ground and into the upper atmosphere. That is the source of lift, which we have the cold front, so we have a source of lift, so we don't got to worry about that. That's in place. Another thing is moisture, of course. We have a lot of moisture actually coming in from the Gulf here. We can see that in our dew points, mid upper 60s, lower 70-degree dew points actually observed. Is supplying an adequate amount of moisture, a great amount of moisture for the region. So, moisture's there, the source of lift is there, and that leaves 2 other things. And the other thing is wind shear, which is basically how strong our winds are in a certain level of the atmosphere. Now, for example, this is our lower level atmosphere, and we have a strong lower level jet stream. So basically, the jet stream in our lower atmosphere is really strong, and definitely strong enough for tornadic formation and stuff like that. And we also do have that veering motion. What I mean by veering is the fact that the winds are actually changing directions with elevation. So, for example, this is our lower atmosphere. The winds are about 50 knots or so, which is about like 55, 60 miles an hour, which is pretty fast. That's pretty fast, actually, for the lower level jet stream. Now, our mid-level winds you can actually see here. You notice how they change directions? So instead of kind of pulling to the north-northeast, they're now kind of more defined, I should say, to the northeast themselves. So you notice how there is that change into wind direction over elevation. So basically, this is our middle atmosphere, and you can see how it does change. So there is a wind directional change with elevation. So that can grant the possibility for rotation in some of these thunderstorms. So that's wind shear, and we have wind shear. So we have wind shear, we have moisture, and a source of lift. So the last ingredient is very important. This is instability. This is the amount of fuel, the amount of unstable air in the atmosphere that is for generating storms and severe weather. Now that is what we're lacking. It's like baking a cake. If you have too much of one ingredient, or too little of one ingredient, it just ruins kind of the whole thing. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to do nothing, but I am saying that it's not going to, I am saying that this is going to severely lack the performance of this storm system because of the fact that we're not dealing with that much instability. It's enough. It is enough to cause some localized spots of severe weather, which is why we have a risk. But, it's not going to be like a full-fledged outbreak or anything like that. If we had a lot of instability, if there was a lot more instability, I feel like this event would have a lot more potential in it. But it doesn't. It doesn't, thankfully. So that is really, really good news, of course. Anyways, so yeah, the instability is kind of the main lacking feature here for today, which is just, once again, very good news. Very, very thankful for that, of course. Why does the SPC use Zulu? Because it's universal time, because it's Earth's time. That's what I can say. It's Earth's time. Basically, it's the same time around the globe in general. So right now it's almost 20 Zulu, which is one fixed time for the entire planet, which is why everybody likes to do that. So, for example, so here's an example. So every morning at 12 Zulu, every morning at 12 Zulu, the Weather Service, both in the eastern U.S. and the western U.S., they launch weather balloons at 12 Zulu and at 0 Zulu. And they all launch them at the same time. But remember that the time in the eastern U.S. is different from the time in the western U.S. They launch the weather balloons at the same time to get a consistent amount of data for one given time period. Does that make any sense? So if they were to launch at, say, a certain time, their own time, there would be every hour a balloon launch that goes from the east to the west. But if they go off of one time, it's just, which is Earth's time, it kind of neutralizes the time zone factor and allows for, all of those to be consistent and at the same time. Does that make sense? That's one of that is a big reason of why. It's also just more simple to keep track of things too. Instead of having to worry about conversions of time zones and just time zones in general, really. It's very useful. Okay, let's hop back over here to radar. Let's do a little velocity check again. Once again, last time we did this, there was really nothing going on here, so I think we're doing pretty good, y'all. I think we're chilling. Don't see any rotation going on as of right now. Check up on Louisiana. Yeah, so honestly, we're looking pretty good. No rotation, thank goodness. Let's bring back up our mesoanalysis real quickly. So this is our current conditions. Once again, we got about a 50 to 60 knot lower level jet observed here, or, in place here, from mesoanalysis here, which is based off the RAP model, I believe. So about 50 to 60 knots, lower level flow, mid-level flow. It really ranges, actually. Yeah. From like 50 to like 70 knots or so. That's what it really ranges to. 50, yeah, you can see like a wind bar of 70 knots out there in eastern Texas. Mid-level flow. Yeah, and you can see that low right now. That area of low pressure right now is pivoted over like southwest Arkansas. So that's our low, and then of course our cold front is at, let's redraw that here. Our cold front's right here. And then we got all of our moisture advection coming in from the Gulf, supplying a lot of moisture and warmth. And then on the back side, we got that cooler air coming in. Oh, let's do that in blue. There you go. That's kind of a little bit of a visual representation. And so these low pressure systems, they rotate counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere, which we are in. So due to that counterclockwise circulation, it's actually pulling warm air up and pushing warm air down, pushing cool air down behind it. And then as this whole system moves, which is expected to move to the northeast, or to the north-northeast, that's just going to drag more warmth, more moisture higher up north, which is, going to allow for actually some of that severe weather to possibly even make its way up to like southwestern Tennessee we have in the SPC outlook. So that's where we're at right now. And that low, once again, that low is right in here at the moment. So that's actually going to be working its way north. What's the closest I've been to a tornado? Pretty close. It was back in the late 2000s. Either, I think it was 08 or 09. There was a tornado when I was visiting my aunt for a pool party. I've said this story a lot on my channel before. Long story short, I was rolling on the highway, and I looked to my left as a kid, and out the window there was a tornado, and it was pretty scary. Haven't seen one since. I've been in a couple other ones that I haven't seen though since, including 2011, the famous outbreak up actually in Northern Virginia. There was a tornado that like ripped through my backyard when I was asleep, which was really nice. Anyways, what's up, Liam? Hope you're doing good. Welcome. Anyways, folks, so yeah, right now the main problem currently at the moment is the flooding risk currently. So Arkansas has already been dealing with and still is dealing with a lot of precipitation out here. We do have a lot of flash flood warnings in effect for you folks out here. So just a bit of a heads up there for y'all. Just make sure you guys are watching it. If y'all are in a flood-prone location, in an area that is definitely prone to flooding, just make sure that, just make sure that, you guys are watching that and, taking action accordingly, because, there's already been like 2 to 4 inches of rainfall that's already fallen out here. So, which we can overlay. Here, we'll bring up storm total precipitation here. There you go. You can kind of see here. Yeah, I mean, we've already been seeing like 2 to 4 inches or so of rainfall, which is quite a bit. This is also radar estimated too, so this is not, definitely not approximate, but it is the best the radar can do. Then down south, there's not really a lot that's fallen. Oh, look at this, Dallas. Yeah, so yesterday we did have a lot of rain towards the Dallas area. Actually, we had a streak of about maybe 5 or 6 inches that fell in like eastern Dallas. Yeah, Dallas actually got a bit of rainfall yesterday, which was pretty interesting. All right, y'all. I'm going to go take a break. We've been live for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to take probably a 10-minute break or so. I just want to do that real quickly so that, we can stretch and stuff like that as well. So once again, if you guys do enjoy this, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. We will be back shortly. That we will. Here, let me go ahead and bring up something real quickly. Here, I'm going to go ahead and, oops. We're going to go ahead and disable my camera for now. Go ahead and throw those other overlays up there for you. I'm going to turn this off real quickly. Hold up 1 second, folks. I got to change up something real fast. I got to add something here real quickly. But yeah, but we're going to take like a 10-minute break, guys. Here we go. Bring this up here. 1 second, you guys. There we go. Alrighty. So yeah, we'll have a 10-minute timer until we'll be back. All right, everybody. Well, you guys, we're gonna bring this back up for y'all. We'll be back here in like 10 minutes, like I said, and hope to see you guys there. Don't go anywhere. Once again, leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and we will be back shortly. All right, guys. Catch y'all in a few minutes. Alrighty, guys, we are back here. Oh my goodness. Oh jeez. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. First of all, welcome, Mark. What's up, man? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Frankie? Saying watching from Live Oak, Florida. Hope you're doing good, my friend. All right, everybody. Let's get back into it. So, as of now, the line is starting to approach Shreveport. Just a long, skinny noodle of a storm. Good news, currently not actively severe. So we are kind of waiting on that. Hopefully it remains the way it is now. But with that being said, currently there is... Oops. Ignore the Windows noises. But currently, with that being said, there is no active severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings as of now. Last time we checked, which we'll check again, I did not see any form of rotation. Looking at the Shreveport radar, I do not see any rotation going on right now. Let's see, hopping down towards, towards Houston, looking at some of those storms, all of that moisture pulling up here. Do not see rotation either. So we're gonna frequently check this, because as the environment updates, or as the environment changes, we'll need to update. Is where I was going with that. But as of right now, we look pretty good. It's just really a long noodle of storms kind of rolling through here. We do have cams in L.A., not Los Angeles, but Louisiana, here in Shreveport. So we're going to see if we can tune on in. Ooh, it looks like it's actually raining out here. Yep. Well, this camera's getting it right now. But yeah, so right now, good news once again, currently not severe. What's up, Team Kenny? Hope you're doing good. Saying hi. What's up? What's up, James? Hope you're doing well. Saying hi, and you're watching from Springfield, Missouri. What's up? Hope you're doing all right, my friend. But yeah, so we are definitely starting to get that line kind of rolling its way through the Shreveport area. Look at that. Look how skinny of a noodle that is. Just one long skinny noodle of a storm kind of rolling through here. So we're gonna definitely keep an eye out there for that. But with that being said, there is a lot of flooding that is ongoing out here in Arkansas. So yeah, Arkansas is actually. Arkansas is actually really starting to get a few inches of rain out here. We actually do already have reports of rainfall totals of about 2 to 4 inches or so that has already fallen for some of those regions out there, which that's already a decent amount of rainfall. Let's see here. COD JMY says... Hey, I've been watching you for 2 days now. You're a good streamer. I'm in Europe. Oh, gotcha. What's up? Hello from the States. When I grow up, I want to be a storm chaser. It's dangerous business, my friend. I just, honestly, I really hope that you, prepare yourself ahead of time. But obviously, go for your dreams, man. Go for them. But I appreciate you joining. Once again, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, just know that it is dangerous and that there's a lot of training that's needed before time. So yeah, you don't just want to jump on into it just for safety and all. Honestly, I doubt there's going to be much lightning today, considering how weak our lapse rates are and how low our instability is. I don't think... there's probably going to be some lightning, of course, but I don't think it's going to be one of those, super energized events. Here, let me pull up the GLM here. Let me look at lightning detections over the last little bit. See what we can pull up here. Here, I'll bring this over here to you guys. Current stat. GLM flashes. Here we go. Yeah, lightning does look very minimal. You see those flashes down there? So each one of those little plus icons, that is a lightning flash. And the blue ones are older flashes. The kind of that reddish color is the middle flashes, and of course the orange is the newer flashes here. I can overlay radar too. Here, let's do that. Nope, that's rivers. Where's the radar? Where was radar? I haven't done this in so long. Where is radar? Oh. Literally option number 1. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard to make out, but there is a little bit of lightning in that prefrontal storm that is popping off ahead of the line here. Top to Lake Charles radar. Thank you, Darian. Appreciate it. Polly says, I'm watching from Granbury, Texas, doing my very first diamond painting. My mom loves doing those, Polly. My mom loves it. But I wish you the best of luck. I've personally never done one, but my mom, she loves them. Yeah, it looks like Lake Charles area is getting some storms too themselves. So, but yeah, like we mentioned, right now these are not actively severe. So there is no tornado warnings or severe warnings on them. But we are underway of the severe weather threat currently. So, with that being said, there can be severe weather pop-ups here at any time. James says we're in the tornado risk day 2. Yeah. Or tornado risk 2 day. Gotcha. Yeah. So be careful out there, James. Once again, for the people who are just joining and haven't been able to see it. Here's our active risk. So we do have a level 2 threat for today, which is a slight risk. And we do have a 5% chance for tornadoes. So, today's greatest potential for tornadic activity is going to be for like the central and northern Louisiana areas. Same thing for southeast Arkansas. There's that little sliver out there in southwestern and west central Mississippi. That's where the 5% chance is. That's where the greatest, chance for tornadic activity is. And then, of course, we do have that 2% chance out here as well, which, is still, of course, possible in terms of tornadoes. But, just a couple isolated tornadoes are possible. But, yeah, the greatest amount of the activity is probably going to be here in the brown. Then, of course, wind threat. We do have, let's see here. We do have the 15% chance for damaging winds, which, once again, those wind gusts are going to be upwards of about 60, 65 miles an hour or so. And in terms of hail, they actually, once again, removed that hail threat for today, which is good news. So, yeah, yesterday when we were forecasting this, they did have a 5% chance for hail. They did remove that. They no longer thought that was necessary. So they did end up removing it. So that is no longer threat. However, there could still be some hail today. Once again, there still is a possibility that we could get some hail out there, but regarding like severity and stuff, it should be under the threshold. Do I recommend any radars for me? I can't access any because I'm from Europe. Do you want radars for Europe or for the U.S.? See, because I don't really know many radars that's in Europe. Germany is like the only area in Europe that's accessible with this program I'm using now for radar. Because if it's Europe, I really can't help you, unfortunately. Somebody in chat might know a good website for looking at Europe radar. See, I don't usually cover Europe. I usually just cover the main U.S. states here. Oh, okay. For the USA. So it depends. There's different programs. I made a video on this. So if you want, I would recommend going to my YouTube Shorts tab on this channel and scrolling down a few because I did make a YouTube short explaining the different programs I have and which ones they are. So go watch that and come back and let me know. Because, you know, in that video I kind of show you the different ones and stuff like that too. I think that'd be the best way for you to look. All right, let's take a look back over here. So yeah, Shreveport is getting that noodle right now. Getting the noodle of storms. So yeah, no problem. You're very welcome. Of course. But yeah, so we are getting the noodle of storms rolling through right now towards Shreveport. Hopping back to camera. So yeah, the camera's clearing out a bit. Let's backtrack a little bit. We're going to go more into... Oh, there we go. James, that's for Hawaii. Yeah, believe it or not, Hawaii's actually getting severe weather too right now. The western islands, the small islands are. Which I don't usually cover Hawaii unless it's like a big event, like a hurricane or something hitting Hawaii. Then I usually cover it. But what's the Cape levels right now? Anywhere from 250 to 500 joules per kilogram. Pretty weak. That's kind of our main limiting factor here is going to be our instability. Poor lapse rates, honestly. But you know, obviously sometimes a high shear environment can help in that case with a low amount of instability, because our lower level jet's like 50, 60 knots right now, 850 millibar height. That's pretty fast. We have a pretty quick moving lower level jet. Same thing for mid level as well. Yeah, that's the main limiting factor. We got good moisture advection though. You know, we are talking dew points upper 60s, lower 70s. Actually, I think 72 degree dew points has been observed in like south central Louisiana. Let me see if I can pull it up. But yes, that is very low instability. And that's what's limiting today's event. Yeah, 73 actually. 73. That's pretty high. So moisture content is great. Wind shear is great. Source of lift, we got that cold front, which is good. But yeah, really the only limiting factor here is going to be that instability. I'll bring up mesoanalysis too and show you. Yeah, so here's our lower level jet here. It's our lower level jet stream. You can see that. Oops, let's see. Yeah, so our winds are like kind of northeasterlies. Winds going to the northeast, I should say. Which yeah, you can see about like 50 upwards of like 60 knots. Pretty crazy. So yeah, ripping lower level jet there. Here's our, oh, they actually updated this here. Hey, you know what? Actually, we're starting to observe higher Cape values in southwestern Louisiana here. Upwards of 750 joules. Okay. Hey, I mean, you know, if we get a whiff of high instability or higher instability or pocket of higher instability, and it contributes to that veering wind shear that we have, with our jet stream being, you know, a good 50 knots or so. So actually, how do you say your name? Kajmy. I actually included a free radar at the end of that video. I don't know if you saw that. I forgot which it was. Oh yeah, I'm not a sponsor. Once again, I'm not doing any sponsorships on this channel, guys, because I'm not in it for the money or anything like that. But I know a lot of people who love to do sponsors, but this channel I'm not going to do sponsorships. But there is a program called My Radar, which is free. You can get, just kind of shows you all the radar, kind of what's going on. Which also there is COD meteorology too. Go to weather.cod.edu, and it'll pull up. Should. Let's see here. But yeah, no, that is pretty low instability that we have in the atmosphere today. And once again, that's going to kind of be really the the main limitation from what it looks like today. So our P watt is pretty high. So precipitable water is like 1.8. Very saturated. Like I mentioned, moisture is not a problem today. There is a lot of that. Honestly, there's too much moisture, to be honest with you. Arkansas is feeling it, that's for sure. What's causing the low instability? Poor lapse rates. So basically, the rate at which the temperature drops with elevation is pretty weak, not significant enough to create a super buoyant atmosphere. Yeah, the lapse rates are pretty poor. That's what's causing that. Has there been any tornadoes today? As of now, thankfully not. Steven, thankfully not. When's peak threat? Well, let me bring up models and we'll look at it. So, let's do 18 Zulu here. Main threat seems like it starts around 5 and lasts until like 2 a.m. Yeah, we went live early today because I wanted to be live to kind of give you guys an update on everything before everything really started popping off. Yeah, there's a lot of rain too. That's going to be really rolling its way into the Ohio Valley and stuff. So, with today's threat, not only are we dealing with like tornadoes and winds and stuff like that, but flooding once again is going to be a problem too. You got that big slight risk here, that level 2 flooding threat out there. How bad will Houston get this? Houston should be relatively fine. We're on the edge of that marginal level 1 risk today. The odds of you getting tornadoes is, very low. We do have a 2% chance out there. So, it can't be ruled out completely. But the odds of getting tornadoes is very low. But, keep an eye on it. Honestly, the line might have already passed you, to be quite fair. Let me check. Yeah, because once that line passes you, okay. No. Honestly, once these guys kind of roll out, you should be pretty good. But yeah, the odds of you getting a tornado or anything like that is extremely low. Extremely low. Let's see. Oh, they banned that for you. Yeah, go to the one website I was telling you about. Go to weather.cod.edu, go to satellite and radar, and go over to down here, next red radar, go to, so Mosaic shows you the whole radar of the U.S. Dual pole, you can adjust your location of which radar you want to look at, so we'll use this one down here. And then there's a little slider at the bottom you can move around to adjust that. You can adjust the reflectivity and how high the beam scans. So, for example, base is 0.15 degrees, which is the lowest elevation tilt. And then you go up higher into the atmosphere, so the beam just points higher and higher. And you got velocity, relative mean velocity, differential reflectivity, correlation coefficient, and differential phase. Sorry, phase. My bad. Precipitation as well. You can also zoom in on it, by the way. Hopefully that helps. Looks like straight line winds are in the forecast. Yeah, that's going to be one of the main problems too. How do you say your name? I'm just going to call you T if you don't mind. But yeah, so that's one of the main problems today is going to be damaging winds following that tornado threat and whatnot, and of course the flooding risk on top of that. So yeah, we're going to need to be actively watching for sure. Let's turn off the day one here. Yeah, really the only main problem at the moment is flooding currently. Wow, look at this. Between 4 to 6 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts up to 1 to 2 inches. So that's possibly like 5 to, 8 inches of rainfall out there. That's a big problem. That's a really big problem. Man. But yeah, once again, today the bullseye, the heaviest of the or the most likelihood of severe weather is going to be in the yellow here today. That level 2 severe weather threat. Of course, we have the level 1 threat too, the marginal. But regardless what level you're in, it's still an active severe weather threat. Still potential for strong 2 severe storms. All right, y'all. Let's check up on those cameras. See how that's going. So first of all, we have that line that's rolling through Shreveport area. Okay, it's pushing through Shreveport now. We're gonna go ahead and change cameras over here to the east. It looks like a little bit of wind there too with that. Camera's shaking a good little bit. Welcome back, Darian. Let's bring up MEDAR wind speeds. Yeah, I mean, it's a little windy out there. We're getting like 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts ahead of the line there in Shreveport. When was this reported? It's at 3:15, so yeah, not too long ago. What about like 20 minutes ago? Yeah, you can kind of see on the lower level water vapor scan here, you can see those storms popping off down here. Those might be a growing concern. They are starting to expand in size too. I feel like those might go severe at some point down the line. Here, let's do a little bit of an update. Hopping back to Lake Charles radar here. Yeah, no rotation or anything like that on them right now, which is good. But yeah, the clouds are definitely thickening up over there, as observed from radar. Dude, I tell you what, man. Central. Oh wait, we have KPOE, don't we? We honestly need a radar in like southwest Mississippi. That'd be actually really nice. That'd be really nice. Yeah, no. So we are definitely starting to pick up a little bit out here. Still sub-severe at the moment. Storm tops are about 25,000 feet. The bigger storm about 30,000. You can shear the. You can see the sheared tops of the storms. You see that? So here's north. This is south. So this is north, east, southwest. You know, we have that northeasterly wind shear we were talking about. You can actually see the sheared tops of the storms up there. See that? So at about 30,000 feet, you can see the winds are moving like that direction just by simply looking at the 3D volumetric. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I definitely want to keep a close eye on those, though, for real, over the next couple of hours. Because, you know, those could actually become a problem. HRRR didn't really pick up on those too much. Or 500 joules per kilogram. Yeah, we're not running off of much. Later this evening, though, let's see here. Later this evening, though, it looks like we could be maybe picking up another 1 to 200 joules per kilogram of instability, which might add to more potential. That would probably be peak threat, I'd assume. Peak threat's about 4 hours away or so. But stuff can happen at any time at this point. As of now, no. Yeah, we could be gusting pretty heavy on those too. Ahead of the line here, HRRR suggests upwards of like 35 knots or so. That'd be like 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts ahead of the line possible, as that low strengthens over like the Midwest here. Yeah, as you would imagine, our helicity values are pretty high because of how strong our winds are in the atmosphere, our wind shear. Once again, kinematics are there, man. Yeah, wind shear's there. It's just, once again, really the limitation of the instability in the atmosphere. Yo, are we having a sea breeze in Florida? Hold on a minute. It kind of looks like we might be having some sea breeze action in Florida today. Dude, I am so ready for spring. So ready for it. Yeah, look at that. Right there. Looks like a sea breeze. Dude. I tell you what, Florida, we got some interesting weather down here during the springtime and summer. James says, me too, I need spring. Yeah, I hear you. It's nice. Ready for this cold to go away, too. You know, whoa, look at that camera now. Gee, that's in eastern Shreveport. I don't know why that took me so long. Yeah, eastern Shreveport. Yeah, I mean, like we said, head of that front there. Head of that front. We're going to be getting some gusty winds ahead of it, too. Those visibilities look less than a half a mile. Could just be bad camera quality, too. As in, it's kind of a myth. I hope you know that. I know it's fun and all, but like, that really doesn't mean anything. Did y'all hear that the groundhog's only like 30% accurate, which is less than half statistically? That's less than 50%. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. It's so in other words, it's more wrong than it is right. Yeah, let's check up on not Louisiana, Arkansas. I mean, still got that heavy rain going on out there. Yeah, we still got all these flash flood warnings. Yeah, if you guys are in Arkansas, if you know anybody out in Arkansas, just give people a heads up because, you know, like I mentioned here, guys, it's gonna be a pretty wet day today. There's gonna be a lot of precip and, you know, a lot of flooding. So if you guys are in like those flood-prone locations, just make sure that y'all are ready to deal with that. What's up, Indiana? Hope you're doing good. How concerning does this threat look today? So if I was to give it a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 3. The thing is, like I mentioned a lot in this stream, since you're just joining Indiana, you weren't here to listen to it. So there is one big setback in this event. So for severe weather, like I mentioned, there's really 4 main ingredients that you need. You need a source of lift, basically to get that warm, you know, moisture-filled air off the ground and into the upper, cooler, drier atmosphere. For one. 2, you need moisture, which we have. We have a lot of moisture. You can see on the PWatt values at 1.8. It's pretty high. There's a lot of moisture, so that checks off. Wind shear, basically how strong our winds are in the atmosphere. I'll tell you what, this event has a really strong lower level jet. The only limitation is the instability, the amount of fuel in our atmosphere. We have weak instability due to poor lapse rates. I believe last time I checked those lapse rates, they were like in the realm of like 6 point something degrees Celsius. What was it, every kilometer? And yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty low. You know, once you get like in the realm of like 7 degrees Celsius, that's where it picks up, and that's where you have, you know, steeper lapse rates, more instability. But that's a big limitation today, which really brings down the potential of the storm system here. And, you know, I mentioned this yesterday. It's like if this storm system had a lot more steeper lapse rates, and if there was more instability in the atmosphere, this event would have something to compete for quite an event. But thankfully, since we do not have a lot of instability in our atmosphere today, then yeah. Anyways, that really kind of brings down the overall potential. Thankfully. But there could still be severe weather today, of course. Given the fact that there is still instability, and of course you could have some higher pockets of instability that really mix in with that wind shear and whatnot, and the moisture, which locally it could get it done. You never know. That's why we just got to be on alert. That's why we have a risk today, is because there still is the ingredients in place, and that's why I'm live. Is because yes, there still is possibility for tornadoes and damaging winds and all. So I wanted to be live a lot today for you guys. Also, we just hit 2 hours of being live. What's up, Brad? Hope you're doing good, man. Welcome. Yeah, but don't be surprised if we do take frequent breaks in this live stream. Once again, we're going to be live probably for I'm just going to stream as long as I can, because we've already been live 2 hours here. I think the main threat's going to be wind. What's our D cape? Do you guys? Let's look at that. Our downwards cape. Downdraft cape. What, 500-600 joules? I mean, not anything excessive, of course. But yeah, I mean that about lines up, giving us some gusts within the range of around like 60 miles an hour or so. So D cape is the downdraft energy, the air forcing downwards, which can lead to damaging winds. So in a thunderstorm, ignore this for a minute here. Here's what we're going to do. So in a thunderstorm, you have the base of the storm cloud, and you got the big cloud. Now, typically thunderstorms are a lot thicker than this, a lot taller, so ignore that. But in a thunderstorm, you have an updraft, which is the warm air from down at the surface that gets lifted up into the storm. So basically, and as that warm air at the surface lifts up into the cooler environment, it condenses, which then you get the cloud that forms. So, and then what goes up must come down, of course. And so basically, that once that updraft cools back down, hot air rises, cold air sinks, basic thermodynamics. The air starts to sink back down as cooler air, and as it sinks down, determining how fast it comes down, gives potential in how strong damaging wind gusts could be potentially. And our D cape is measuring how fast that cold air is coming back down. It's the instability in the downdrafts, basically. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot going on when forecasting all this fun stuff. What website is that on? What? This program here? This isn't a website. This is GR2 Analyst, which is a chunky program. Here, let's hop to KSHV radar, Shreveport radar, basically. Nope, still got our noodle going on. Still got our long noodle. Still, once again, not currently actively severe, thankfully. However, we're still watching it because, like we mentioned, it could at any time. Let's hop back to cameras here for a little bit. Eastern Shreveport. Okay, well, the camera's updating, but the picture's not, so that's a broken camera. go a little further south. Is there any cameras down? Okay, yeah, let's check up on Oberlin. Where's Oberlin? There's Oakdale. Here, let's look at some of these cams out here. This is more southwestern Louisiana, which this is out by Iowa. Not the state, but the town of Iowa in Louisiana. That's nice. Check up on Baton Rouge. Yeah, you guys are chilling right now. Yeah, once again, the main problem at the moment currently is all this flooding here, which let's look back at that real quickly. I do want to pull up storm total. Precip. By the way, this is radar estimated too. So just want to give you all a heads up here. But so this is weird because radar estimation shows, you know, good 3, maybe 4 inches of rain has fallen. And the flash flood warning itself, if you look at it, it says between 4 and 6 inches of rain has fallen. With additional amounts up to 1 to 2 inches there. So, hey, you know what though? They are going off of automated gauges, so gauges are probably higher. See if we can tap into some of that data here. Here we go. Yeah, within the last 24 hours, about 5 inches out here, according to, this is from the Weather Service, by the way. Can I full screen this? No? Okay. Still a really good amount of rainfall it's fallen. And like we mentioned, it's not even done yet either, so. Yeah, once again, moisture's not a problem with this storm system at all. The main limitation, once again, is going to be that instability and whatnot. All right, y'all. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to probably take a 30-minute break. We're just going to let 30 minutes go by. I'll leave the stream up, of course, and we'll leave everything up and rolling. But I'm going to take a 30-minute break just to, you know, let some time go by. If anything pops up, and meanwhile, we'll come back. But for now, you know, once again, since there's no active warnings or anything like that, we're just going to be on standby mode for now. We'll be doing another update, another checkup in about 30 minutes. Is that okay with you guys? So stay tuned. You know, keep the stream running in the background. That way, whenever I do come back, you know, you'll be ready to go. Once again, I mean, if things pop off, meanwhile between, I will come back. But you know, once again, we're kind of on standby mode now. Gonna kind of just wait and see what happens. But all right, everybody, we'll be back here. Y'all take care. Could we still see tornadoes? Yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the main tornado threat's really still not even here, but we are actively in the threat as of right now. All right, everybody. We'll be back here in 30. Catch y'all here in a little bit. See you later, guys. Hang tight. Once again, if you haven't already, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. We'll be back shortly. All right, see you later, guys. Alrighty, everybody. We are back here a half hour later to give you guys an update on what is going on. And the answer is nothing. Yeah, so while the severe weather event is ongoing currently, or, within the time frame of it to occur, I do... Hold on, let me turn this off real quick. There is nothing going on currently actively severe. So that is actually really good news. I really think, and I wouldn't say think, I really hope that this event does just not perform at all. As of right now, once again, no warnings have been issued. Let's do a quick little velocity check here. Let's see here. As of now, I don't see any rotation on Lake Charles radar. Out here by Alexandria, don't really see anything rotating, which is just great news. And you can see kind of the line is already starting to work its way into that level 2, or that slight risk there. So it's already working its way in the slight risk here. Once again, with the event today, there's a lot of wind shear. There's a lot of strong winds. There's a lot of moisture with this storm system, but like we mentioned, there's not a lot of instability or whatnot. So that is what's really limiting us today in general. So I was thinking over the last half hour, I'm going to do one more recap, one more update, I should say, in terms of the SPC forecast, the hydrological outlook, stuff like that. And if anything doesn't happen between then and the time we're done giving you guys an update, we're going to roll off. Now, here's the plan. If things do start popping off, then we'll come back live. If they do not, and they just don't happen, then it just doesn't happen, and we won't go back live. So that's how we're going to be playing this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do one more update. We're going to give you guys the overall breakthrough of what we can expect for today. Once again, it still hasn't... We can't classify it as a bust yet. It still could pop off. But like I mentioned here, it's, as of now, we've been live the last almost 3 hours here, and nothing has happened yet. So, I did go live a little early, of course, to give you guys an update on everything. But we are now well within the time frame of severe weather going through. Once again, that line already rolling into the slight risk now, the level 2 threat, and we still haven't had a single warning, which I'm very thankful for, very, very much so. I'm just saying. All right, everybody, let's do an update here. So once again, still don't let your guard down. Severe weather is still expected today. In terms of the tornado risk here, so we do have a 5% chance for tornadoes. Once again, the greatest concern for tornadic activity today is going to be for the central and northern portions here of Louisiana, also for southwestern and west central Mississippi. So we do have a 5% chance for tornadoes, in which, a couple of tornadoes can occur within the region here. So keep it out there for that. And of course, the overall risk for tornadic activity, does extend all the way from southwestern Tennessee to basically like eastern Texas. So if you're in the dark green or the brown here, this is a risk for some tornadic activity. So we could get a couple of tornadoes today. Keep that in mind. But that's that. Now, in terms of damaging winds, we do have that 15% risk out there for damaging wind gusts. So winds are going to be kind of within the range of about maybe 60 to like 65 mile per hour wind gusts out there. So we're going to have to watch out for that, because, those winds of that strong or that magnitude can and often do create problems, such as power outages because of some of the power lines coming down, trees, branches, whatnot can come down in that in those fast of winds. So that's going to be a concern. We have a 15% chance of damaging wind gusts, once again, 60 to right around 65 miles an hour or so for today. And then, of course, lastly, we do have a 5% chance out here across the Brown, which this is the whole risk area here. Once again, stretching from eastern Texas all the way up to southwestern Tennessee, inside of that risk here overall. Now, lastly, once again, regarding hail, they actually removed the hail threat for today. We are not expecting anything, severe or anything like that regarding hail today, thankfully. So we should be pretty good regarding that here. And then, of course, hop it over here to the hydrological outlook here for everything. Once again, we do have a pretty serious day for precipitation and rainfall. As you can actually see here, we do have a risk out here all the way from northeastern Texas in that level 2 threat going all the way in towards like central Kentucky here overall. So that is that. Whenever it comes to it, there is, like I said, at least a 15% chance for flooding across these regions here. So if you're in this region and your area is prone to flooding, and if your property, usually floods and whatnot, just be aware and just know about that, okay? Because, as all this moisture kind of rolls through, there will be, a lot of ponding of water, especially in those lower locations and those lower elevations, which will allow for the potential for flooding to occur, which there already has been a lot of flooding ongoing here. Out here in this one warning you guys can see here, it actually looks like they updated it, but it did say, oh, never mind. It does say, between 4 and 6 inches of rain has fallen with an additional amount of 1 to 2. So there's already been a lot of rain that's fallen out here, and the rain is still not letting up yet. Okay, so once again, there's a lot of moisture with this storm system here, and there is going to be a bit of a flooding threat. Now, another thing I just noticed here is they actually upgraded that little risk out there by the Midwest to now a level 2 for like southeastern Iowa and like northwestern Illinois and a little bit of extreme northern Missouri in that risk here. So there's now a level 2 threat for some of you folks out there as well. So just keep that in mind. Once again, everybody, really not a whole lot's going on right now. In this severe weather setup, this is what we call a high shear, low cape environment. There's a lot of wind shear, and there's not much instability in the atmosphere, basically. So the fuel in the atmosphere is fairly low. We don't really have much instability in the atmosphere here. Now, there's enough to, in theory, get some severe weather ongoing and stuff like that, but that is that. Boost says, Andrew, I'm here in Southwest Virginia, riding through a couple of secondary roads through smaller hills we have down here. Didn't realize how many trees we have down everywhere. Ooh. When did that occur? Was that from... See, I know we got a lot of rain actually coming up for you folks out here. Towards like the West Virginia area here. Yeah, you guys are going to be getting a little bit of precipitation out there. Yeah, that had to have been from a previous event at some point. But be careful out there. Let's see here. Tree damage from our previous ice storm, a couple of snowstorms now starting early tonight. We're expecting flooding rains in the area of southern West Virginia. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, be careful, my friend. Like I said, a lot of that precipitation, all that moisture that's being, kicked up and ejected from the Gulf here, is going to allow for a lot of that rain to really fill into the regions here, of the Ohio Valley, portions of the Tennessee Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and up into the Northeast, where, tomorrow afternoon, like we were talking about earlier in this live stream, how the northern side is actually going to start to transition into winter precipitation regarding snowfall tomorrow. So that's that. We'll have to look out into that. But all right, everybody. Well, like I mentioned, right now we are ongoing into the severe weather event. As of now, we do have storms. Things are relatively calm. Let's check up on this real quickly. Okay, yeah, there's literally no velocity on that. Okay, yeah, just storm shape, honestly. Really not anything crazy going on at the moment, and, we haven't had a warning yet. So, like I mentioned, hopefully today's just going to underperform, and hopefully it doesn't perform at all, actually. But like I mentioned, if it does, we'll hop back on. Like I said, we're pushing 3 hours of being live here. Once again, I did go live early, but at this point, we are in the time frame of severe weather, and just things are currently not popping off. But if they do start really kicking off here, within the next little bit, we'll go live again. Okay? So we'll be on standby. Hopefully you won't have to see me again today. It's basically what it boils down to. So if you see me again today, there's severe weather going on. But if you don't, then we're good. All right? All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Once again, if you haven't already, consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. Most important thing you guys can do is share this live stream, share this channel, copy the link to this live, send it out to as many people as you can just to help spread the word. It'll be greatly appreciated in terms of helping us out and helping everybody else out. Just helps everybody out in general. So I appreciate that. But all right, everybody. Well, like I mentioned, we're going to wrap it up here for now. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Once again, hope you guys don't see me again today. And if you do, well, we'll be here to cover it. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. You guys take care. Jess says thanks for streaming. No problem. You're very welcome. See you later, Darian. See you later, everybody. Thanks for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And like I said, hopefully you don't see me again today. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Catch you on the next one.